Let's bring in Ron Nehring, California State Chairman of the Ted Cruz campaign. Ron, thanks so much for joining us. I like the smile on your face. Great to see you this morning. At least one of us got a good night's sleep. My question to you, Ted Cruz saying he wants the other candidates to consider uniting. He wants them to drop out. What's your case to Marco Rubio that he should get out of the race?
Well, it's clear that only Ted Cruz has the pathway necessary in order to defeat Donald Trump and become the Republican nominee. I mean, this nomination process is critical, and now is the time when people have to make serious decisions about whether we can unite as a Republican Party behind Ted Cruz, who does have a pathway to defeat Donald Trump and become that nominee. We have twice as many delegates as Marco Rubio does at this point. Marco Rubio is well behind in his own state of Florida. He's not likely to win there. That looks very, very bad for him. So this is decision time, and we really think it would be terrific for the Republican Party and for the nation to have people come together behind Ted Cruz, who's doing so well right now, picking up 4 states last night, and put this party in a position to win in November.
You mentioned Florida. How hard are you guys going to fight in Florida? Are you guys on the ground? Are you going to fight to win?
We have a campaign organization in Florida. We're excited about that. Marco Rubio obviously has a big problem in his own state when he can't even lock up the support of those Republicans who've nominated him in the past. His biggest challenge right now in the state of Florida is Donald Trump. But we're active in terms of our campaign there. We'll continue to fight on moving forward. We're not in Florida today. We're in Kansas today because we have another round of states coming up before that.
I am curious. Ted Cruz seemed to pivot in this campaign. He had been talking a lot about Marco Rubio in the debates, on the trail, talking about what he calls amnesty and Marco Rubio's position on the Gang of Eight. Then he sort of stopped in the last debate and really went exclusively after Donald Trump. Do you expect Ted Cruz, now that he maybe smells blood in the water or senses it, to go after Marco Rubio again?
Well, I think that we're making the case all the way around. I mean, Marco Rubio has a problem with the base of the Republican Party. You can see that now reflected in the delegate counts. You can see it in that, just yesterday, the Rubio campaign was telling people that they could win up to 4 states yesterday. They only won 1. They only won, in Minnesota. They made a big play for the state of Virginia. So Marco Rubio has a challenge, but Donald Trump has a challenge in this party as well. He refuses to release his tax returns. That's an important thing because the nomination process is as much about vetting our candidates as it is about racking up delegates and becoming the nominee. So Donald Trump has real challenges, and Marco Rubio does as well. But now is the time for Republicans to come together behind Ted Cruz, who is in that position to become the Republican nominee and put this party in a great position to win in November.
If you look at what happened last night, there is definite signs that Ted Cruz has some challenges going forward as well. I mean, you talk a couple months ago, Ted Cruz, the campaign and all of his supporters would say he was expected to do a lot better through the South, his southern firewall. He did not last night. So the map doesn't get easier from here.
Well, it's been very interesting having Donald Trump in this race. I mean, Donald Trump has been able to convince a certain number of people that he's not who he really is. And that's part of the reason why we've been talking about his record. That Tim Russert, that very candid interview that he did with Tim Russert, where he talked about his support of partial birth abortion or keeping that legal and so on, has been really revealing. By the way, that's also a reason why we've called on Donald Trump to authorize the New York Times to release this secret tape with his candid remarks on immigration, because voters deserve to know where he really stands there as well. So we're going to continue to move forward. We're going to continue to challenge Donald Trump on these issues, as well as make the case that it's only Ted Cruz who has that pathway to become the nominee. Marco Rubio just doesn't have it. He had an opportunity. He's missed that opportunity, and now we have to unite.
You make it sound like Donald Trump's campaign is in trouble. He just won 7 states on Super Tuesday. He had won 3 states before that. I mean, the goal is winning here. Wouldn't you rather be ahead right now in the delegate count, which Donald Trump is, by a fair amount?
Well, of course everyone would rather be ahead, just like you'd rather be ahead in every single, quarter of a basketball game or so. You'd rather be ahead all of the time. But the reality is this is a 19-week process. We are in just the very, very beginning of that. We're coming to the beginning of the end of the beginning of that process now. Now there are many more states yet to go. So now we look forward to March 5th, March 8th, March 15th, and the like. And if Donald Trump was so secure, then why does he keep saying such weird and bizarre things about his opponents? That's not the sign of a secure candidate. That's the sign of an insecure candidate. And he knows that he has a problem there. If he was secure, he would release his tax returns. He refuses to do that. If he was secure, he would authorize the release of that secret tape with the New York Times. He refuses to do that. This is not a candidate who acts like he is secure if you judge him by his actions.